Before you date a single mother, you have to ask yourself, are you prepared to enter a system that already exists while trying to build your own systems? Because that's what you're signing up for. Are you secretly hoping that your love and your compassion and your direction and knowledge in life will somehow sway the situation of the single mother into your favor? Are you hoping to redesign their life, a life that's already been designed? I have some hard truths for you about that. Different responsibilities, different hierarchies, different structures. That's what you're getting into when you have built your life and you're considering seriously dating a single mother. The child comes first to that woman, always. And in most cases, the family will always come second. Which means that if you're dating a single mother, you are willingly putting yourself third in that hierarchy. And I'll tell you right now, there's nothing you can do about that. Now, there's also another level in the hierarchy, and that is the biological father of the child. While dating single mothers, you run the risk of upending everything you're working for if you're dating a person with a toxic, abusive, crazy ex. If the father of that child is in their life, then you aren't just dating one person per se. Essentially, you're dating two people. Because there's constantly going to be an influence from the father. And when it comes to the father of that child, you will have lesser say than they will, always. These are hard truths that as men we need to come to terms with, okay? Not only are you entering an established system, but the system that you built through your life journey, you've either put it on pause or abandoned it now to build something completely new. Are you willing to do that? Have you considered what that would cost? Have you considered how much that might set you back in your goals? You're going to be expected to provide. You're going to be expected to discipline. You're going to be expected to lead, all with restrictions. You'll be expected to provide. But if the woman is taking child support from the father, then your provisions will always be undercut by another financial income source. Same goes if she's being financially supported by her family. See, there's no way to swing it other than you're putting yourself not here up at the top, but here, somewhere down below or in the middle. You'll be expected to discipline the child. But what level of authority will you have over how you choose to discipline the child? Will your discipline tactics be accepted by the mother? Will your discipline tactics be accepted by the father if he's still in the picture? Will your discipline tactics be accepted by the family of the mom? A lot of men believe that they can make it work because of who they are. But in a situation where it's 1 versus 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're clearly outnumbered, are you willing to put that energy forth? Are you willing to put that energy out to fight against all of those external sources to establish what you want with this woman? If you discipline the child improperly and the father isn't happy with it and he's still in the picture, you're going to have a problem. And the same thing with the family. You're going to have a problem with that. You'll be expected to lead. But if the family is still very much in the picture, and the family, when I speak about the family has no attachment to you. They might have been, the woman that you're interested in might be 20 something, late 20s, 30 something. That means they have decades. The family has decades of repertoire, have decades of relationship with this woman. If you had just come into the picture, even if your relationship has been 4 years in the making, what is 4 years compared to 20, 30 years? You'll be expected to lead, but your leadership will constantly be undermined by the family. The family will not have your best interest in mind. The family will not have your and your woman's relationship's best interest in mind. The family is primarily focused on the best interest of the woman and her child. You are a secondary thought, if not a thought at all. You have to understand that there's going to be an emotional hierarchy. If you compete with the child for attention, you're going to lose. If you compete with the family for attention, the resentment will build. And if resentment is building between you and the family, just imagine how the family will be relating with the woman as far as how they feel about you in that relationship. It's not going to be positive. I'll tell you that right now. With this emotional hierarchy, the father is going to have a large say in everything that is done in your life. And you have to accept that if he's still in the picture. If he's not in the picture, then the emotional burden of abandonment or of the trauma of a failed relationship that produced a child and everything else that comes with that is still your emotional baggage at this point. Or did you think that it would just completely miss you? Or you thought that, somehow, some way, you're just that type of guy, everything's just gonna be all right? Maybe you should think again. Now, the father dynamics is something that's really important as far as the father of the child. You risk the child potentially being ripped away from you if there is all of a sudden some type of custody case. Now you've built a relationship with this child. You built a relationship. You might have even built a family unit. And before you know it, you'll never see this child again. If it ends, you lose her and the child. Have you considered the emotional impact of that on your life? Have you considered the emotional impact of that on your plans, on the energy it takes for you to sustain your life as a disciplined man, as a chosen man? What men tend to consider is that many men that are purposeful in life, right? That feel like they know what the mission is in life. He said that path is a quite lonely path. The path of the straight and narrow. And so on that path, many times we get the feeling like, wow, it would be really nice to have somebody here to support me, to share these moments with, to share life with, to grow with, to build with. I know. And we look, sometimes, many times, we look to people who share similar situations as we. We look to people who need compassion. And we give that compassion because we know that not so deep down inside, we would wish that other people would give that compassion to us. But there is something called toxic empathy. This isn't a warning video saying never ever date single mothers. This is a hard truth video about the impact on your life that dating single mothers will have. You are going to have to build from scratch. You are going to have limits on your authority. You are going to have to deal with a new emotional hierarchy, some levels that you can't really see because they're out of your sight. You are going to have to deal with the biological father if he's still in the picture. That takes emotional energy. And the attachment risk, the risk of everything falling apart, and now you're left with love for a child that you'll never see again. I haven't even spoken about the financial burdens, but I think that's fairly obvious. Financially, your expenses will increase quite significantly. So, look, don't enter a single mother relationship out of compassion. Don't enter a single mother relationship out of empathy. If you, as a disciplined man, understand that what you're doing in life, like you've built yourself, so you've built yourself a foundation in life, and you have spoken with this person, you and the family are good, are good. I mean, I guess you could try it out, but as a chosen man, as a disciplined man, as a man with purpose, as a man on his mission, find a woman that will build with you from scratch.